All right, I'm back. Rumble in the Jungle. Biggest thing since Ali. Today's episode of the Live, Q, or Die podcast brought to you by Tactical Distributors. Unpossible 15 gets you 15% off all this great stuff. A reversible coat, sweet ass t-shirt, and they just sent me these summer shorts. Oh my God. Can we get this out of here? We can. So, these shorts, they're breathable. The boys, they're cool as hell. They're short. They're not too short. They're not too long. They're not Daisy Dukes. They're not Dirty Dukes. They're just right. So, Unpossible 15 gets you 15% off flip-flops, bags, shirts, pants, everything you need. They got those panties. What are those? The tactical brief things. They're so comfortable, and your junk comes right out when you need to take a pee. Holla.
Yeah.
Remember that time that drone went like, ooh, boo.
No, it's hard to see on the screen. I couldn't tell what it was doing.
Jay wasn't learning. He just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to pay attention. It sends blood.
Allegedly. I'm starting to not believe that myself.
So, how you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
How about you?
Good.
Yeah.
One of the greatest trips of my life.
You blessed the rains down there?
So many rains were blessed. It actually rained like 3 days. So we got like a year and a half of rainfall in the time I was there, and I think it was because of a proper blessing. I also, several things. So what's the saying about when the cat's away, the mice will play sort of thing? So I found out several things happened. Were blessed while I was gone.
Yep.
The fuck happened to our IG, man? Kaboom.
They blessed us. Yeah, no warning. Just I went to refresh it one day, and it said the account was disabled, so I told Adam. I think he thought I was lying.
I was like, no way. Let me check mine.
Yeah. And no answer. I've appealed through Instagram. I've appealed through the forums on Facebook. Like, we've had people reach out and try to help us, but they basically have just sent those forms to fill out and not a thing. So starting from square one for a third time.
Adam, you're a smart fellow. What do you think?
Well, I have my theories.
I think that's what I said, right?
Nice.
Jesus. Slow start today.
Well, I mean, we're obviously a gun company, and we post pictures of guns, and we link to a website that sells guns, so there's probably some violation of their user policy. I'm not going to play the innocent victim all the way. I think that...
Is this a policy like the ATF's arm brace policy, or are these policies that are clear that we're violating?
Well, these Instagrams are written down.
I don't know if it was like vague community guideline.
No, it's no, you can't
all.
sell knives or weapons or guns or drugs or things like that. And, you know, we're not saying buy this now, but we're linking to a website where you can buy it. We're clearly advertising.
Jay selling weed through the DMs.
I know, right?
Jesus.
The mystery shirt was a huge success, but it was also a lottery. Can't do lotteries on Instagram.
Huh.
So we need to...
Well, how do we do the mystery shirt in the future then?
Well, we need to not do it on Instagram or have a way where people can participate without having to purchase. That way it's a giveaway. Kind of like what Adam Crow was saying with theirs when he was here.
Live free or die. I want a New Hampshire Instagram.
Hell yeah. Jay,
Fuck
get on
this
that.
stuff.
All right, working on it.
And then my third theory is our company's called Q. QAnon is pretty big right now. The algorithm might not be smart enough to differentiate us from them. I don't think it's a person scrolling through and be like, I don't like that.
Really?
I think it's
You
all-
think this is a robot algorithm
Yeah.
situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it was probably an intersection of factors, too. And I'm sure there are people out there, as dumb as it sounds, that are every day just reporting our account as their...
Come on, there aren't Pacos.
Yeah. So I think it was that plus the things that Adam mentioned.
Yeah, there's no shortage of haters.
Well, you know what I say? Fuck it.
I say that too.
Keep on rolling.
Yeah.
No big deal.
So new Instagram
Yep.
is unpossible_by_Q.
Yep.
All right.
Tell your friends.
Fair enough. Okay. So mystery shirt, huh? Which was my second thing. Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
So that's done.
Yep. Yeah, by
We
the
did
time this
well.
comes out, the winner should be announced. The prize should be announced.
Yeah.
or
We
prizes.
have we
As
announced?
of right now, we don't know who it is or what it is.
Have we announced? We haven't announced what we're giving away.
Nope. Monday.
It's a lot of stuff I hear.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, probably a couple guns, couple silencers, a bunch of accessories, some swag from us and the company that partnered with us, Bergara.
Oh,
Still don't know.
Bergara.
I'm not sure yet.
Oh, this can become a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe some ammo.
So I'm still driving the Suburban. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
All right. So nobody
This
gets the
time.
Suburban this time.
this time.
Unless you want to throw it in.
I don't care. I'm moving to Africa. Fuck you guys. So
Heard it's cheap there.
I would be so rich there. Oh my God, it's amazingly cheap and incredible. Yeah, the government though is run by the same people that run Instagram here in America. I hear.
Mm.
So I'm a little concerned about purchasing property and whatnot there, but I like to visit. You know, condo at the beach. Don't want to live there.
Yeah.
Like to visit.
Well, even at that price, it's worth the risk. Maybe you have to leave, but it's cheap.
Yeah, for like 70 grand for an awesome house and
Yeah.
like 1,500 acres in the mountains and free range kudu that you can kill and eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Yeah, that's worth it for like 2 years.
Seems okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
see these new glasses we got? You're still
Yeah.
using some lame coffee. Oh yeah, you can't put hot stuff in these. You drink coffee.
I mean, I'm sure you could.
No, I think it says do not put hot shit in these.
Oh.
Oh.
But how do you say that?
Is it soldado? Is it salado?
Soldado.
I'll have to look.
Salad O.
Yeah.
Glassworks or something, somewhere in Texas. Those guys hook us up. These things are wonderful.
Mm.
I like it. You know, and this Beyonce little swirly sort of
Yep.
90s urban, like fancy grip here. So normally
Is that
I
what
would.
that is called?
Yeah.
I have no idea. But normally I do not like this sort of design on the outside. The glass I like very much. But I do like this for the grip.
Yeah.
It's a smart move.
Looks like an elongated sperm.
Yeah, okay. You and my 17-year-old said the same shit. That's
Well,
great.
he's
Yeah,
not
but-
wrong.
No, he's not. But thank you guys. These are nice. I love them.
Yeah. Talon liked them too. When you posted them, Talon's I responded, said more fancy cups. He drank out of one, so I think he's a fan as well.
Yeah, they're nice. And I don't know. They blow these things. So
They
they've
what?
invited us a couple times to blow things down there. I haven't gone yet, but so I don't know if you're in that part
Jay, you
of
up for
Texas.
traveling?
I suppose I'll take one for the team.
I mean, his knees are as rough as a goat's knees, so he'll be fine. But yeah, I think you can visit there and like learn to blow your own glass and make your own cups or glass or
That's cool.
pipes for smoking things. Whatever, Jay.
So you went out there, blessed the rains. It rained a little bit, and then what happened?
Oh, it did.
Did you shoot anything?
I shot so many other things. Well, first of all, Field Ethos put this together. So shout out to them, Jason Vincent, who did it. He picked the group, and you know, I've been on a lot of hunts, and I've been over there before, and hunts everywhere. Crusader Safaris is who we went with. It is the best experience I've ever had. Nothing even compares. And they didn't give me shit. Like, it's not some paid like promotion of theirs where they said, hey, mention us, we'll give you a kudu. Like, nothing. Several things that were different about it that I loved. It's family land from like the Eastern Cape east up to Kruger. The family has like 5 different parcels of land that they own and lease. And the main part that they live on that we hunted, I think it's about 450,000 acres. And another part, so we hunted in different areas, and one was in the mountains, and it was very thick brush and shit, and that was different kind of hunting. That was about 150,000 acres. But their family, you know, a couple hundred years ago settled this part where they're located, and they had millions of acres. And so now it's been divided up among generations. And Andrew Pringle, who lives on this part, and his dad and his brother also live on a connecting part, and his cousins own next door and all this. But it's about 450,000 acres, and it's free range, and it's amazing. Because you go to South Africa, a lot of things have happened the last 30 years or so. Like, a lot of it is high fence for several reasons. You know, in that part of South Africa, you don't get, obviously, all the African game. So some places high fence so they could put all the game from Africa in there, so you can go over in one shot, you know, kill everything you would want, and if you only have a week to do it. But a lot of times they high fence stuff to keep poachers out now, because, you know, way back in the day, poachers used to get shot in Africa, and after apartheid, that doesn't happen anymore. But this is all free range, so animals, you know, there's no guarantees of anything, and it's just a different style of hunting, and it's more difficult, but it was more fun, and it felt more like hunting. But I tell you, the group, Crusader Safaris, they were just awesome, man. It was like, after one day, it's like hanging out with family that you liked or your buddies. There wasn't high pressure. And it could be a combination of things. Africa's been shut down for over a year, so we were their second hunt in like 15 months. Wow. And there was a couple of Swedish guys that were there before us. But Jason at Field Ethos, he arranged all this. He met these guys, kind of hit it off with them. And his first time there, too. So it was 6 of us. Mike Murphy, shout out to him, from Griffin & Howell, which used to be owned by Abercrombie & Fitch. It's like over 100-year-old kind of safari rifle, custom rifle company. And they were in New York. They used to be like in Manhattan above Abercrombie & Fitch when Abercrombie & Fitch was an outfitter. I think this is sort of the story. Hopefully we'll have him on for a podcast. He's a cool guy. Former Marine, then went to work. Griffin & Howell does their long-range instruction and stuff there, and a lot of instruction for shooting for rich guys that they buy a Griffin & Howell rifle for whatever those things cost, and they want to learn to shoot and do all that before they go over to Africa or wherever they're going to hunt.
That's kind of like what we wanted to do with the fix early on. Buy a fix, come out, build it, go out with the guys that used to work here, learn how to shoot it.
Yeah, and I think it's a great idea. So that's what Mike does. He's fucking awesome. We had a great time. He educated me on Griffin & Howell. I didn't know very little about him and what they do, and he was just a great hunting partner and a great guy to hang with for a couple weeks. But they used to be above, like in Manhattan, above Abercrombie & Fitch. So you'd go in there, you go upstairs, you're going to Africa, you're some rich guy, you buy your rifle, you buy your ammo, your optic, get it set up, you go downstairs in Abercrombie & Fitch, and you get all your gear, your boots, like your clothes, all the stuff. And the idea was they were a real outfitter. You walk out the front door of there, and you have everything you need to get on the plane to go to Africa to hunt.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so over time, of course, I had to move out of New York, and as ridiculous as it is, they're in New Jersey now. But they've got, I think, they have 1,000 or 1,500 meter range. They've got all kinds of stuff at their place. So I'm going to go down there with Ivana and do some shooting in the next month or so with Mike, and get her spun up before we go on a hunt where she can shoot far. And it's not going to hurt me either. But them, 2 of our customers, Danny and Ray, I won't say their last names in case they don't want me to. I don't know. But they came up 2017. They built 2 fixes. They went with us. 2 of the nicest freaking guys. They were so fun. And then it was me and Jason from Field Ethos. And Field Ethos, Gabe, shout out to him. He's their media guy. He did all the photos and the videos. And we had a drone. Didn't even get crashed one single freaking time.
I need a license.
Yeah, I think it's actually in his blood.
Yeah, probably.
So he did a great thing. But we stayed at 2 or 3 camps while we were there. Another thing when you go to South Africa, things if you're interested in going, like know why you want to go and talk to people that have been. And a lot of places that I go, because 95% of the hunting in South Africa is by Americans, and I think probably 75% of that are like very rich white guys over 60, and probably half of those they take their wives. And so a lot of the places you go, it's like a 5-star resort you stay at, so you're paying for a lot of shit that I don't need. And even, I take Ivana. She doesn't care about a lot of the stuff. Like, I want it to be, like, clean and nice enough for me to ignore. Like, I don't need a bunch of marble floors and, like, just all this ridiculous crap. Like, I want good food. I don't need, like, a $200 meal every time I eat. I want there to be some beer and some bourbon. And I want the guides to be cool. Because, when I go, which is kind of a little different, I think, because I've been a lot, I never know exactly what I'm going to shoot, but I know I'm open to it. But a lot of the places where it's kind of high end, there's a lot of pressure to make you shoot things that are expensive, and I hate that. I hate salespeople. I don't like it at all. I want my PH to be, so PH in Africa is professional hunter, so that would be like your guide. And I don't want them to pressure me with anything. I want to go and have a good time. Like, I want to have a good time more than I want to shoot the biggest animal or anything. Like, I want that experience. That might not be true for everyone, but I think overall, for guys like me that want to go with your buddies and have a good time and not be pressured and have, like our PHs and the owner, Andrew, I would hang out with them all the time. They are so cool, laid back. If there's anything probably bad about Andrew, is for his business, he's not a sales guy. He wants everyone to feel welcome and have a good time, and he does not pressure anyone to shoot anything that's expensive. I think it's smart business because it's like there's a lot of outfitters out there in Africa. In the last year, a lot of them have gone out of business, but because Crusader, it's like family-owned land, and they do sheep and cattle on part of it, so the hunting isn't something that's absolutely necessary for them. So I think for them, and it's free range, so they're not buying animals and putting them in an enclosure, even if it's like thousands of acres, and doing that kind of stuff. And they actually do have one area that I think was like 20,000 acres to where if you wanted to hunt some stuff that's non-native to their area that they have, but that's just like a sidebar to what they do. For me, like I didn't care about that.
And how big was the property again, total?
Well, total property that we hunted, they owned was 600,000 acres. And that was and that was actually divided into two. The mountain property was 150, and the property that they live on is 450.
Wow,
that's insane.
So, I mean, you think about it from like his house where he lived on the property, and like the barn and the skinning room and the cooler and everything, compared to where we stayed, was a 25-minute ride going 50 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
And it's on the same piece of property.
Do you think that, like you just said, that them not pushing or forcing guys to shoot the biggest thing, most expensive thing, do you think that encourages people to shoot more?
It's probably a personality thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I can say for my personality, which I'm probably generally the exception to some of this personality stuff, I probably shot more because there was no pressure and they wanted to make sure we had a good time. But also because it's free range, Crusader safaris is far less expensive than some of the high-end stuff. And the accommodations were great. The food was great. Like the chef they have there, is a native from there, and he went to culinary school. But, it wasn't a bunch of imported fancy stuff. Like they weren't serving us lobster. Like we ate what we killed.
Right.
And so that makes it affordable for him. And I think there's just a lot of things that make it an experience to where you don't have to be a 65-year-old retired guy that was an executive and you got millions of dollars to go over there and have a good time. Like you don't have to spend $50,000 to have a good time. Like I probably spent a fair amount of money, but I shot 21 animals. But it's still far less expensive than any trip I've had there.
Yeah.
And that is by far the most number of animals I've ever shot, and is 10 times the best time I've ever had. And part of that was the guys that went. Like, we just had a really great group. I was the oldest guy, which is so weird for me now, but I love that. Like, everybody wanted to have a good time. And there was just lots of great stories, like several of the guys had never been to Africa, probably just me and Jason. And, like Danny that went with us that has one of our fixed, he took his fixed rifle that he built in 2017. My man can shoot too, let me just say. And he also, his father died unexpectedly a few years ago of a heart attack, pretty young age. And because Danny, I think, is about 30 or early 30s. And his father was a hunter and, was into fishing and stuff, just an outdoorsman, and got Danny into it at a young age. And his father's dream, was to go to Africa and shoot a kudu. And so he has his father's hunting rifle, which was a pre-64 Winchester 270. And he shot a kudu with it at like 450 yards with that thing. It was cool because his PH2 is a pretty young guy, lost his father unexpectedly a few years ago. So it was like a really cool interview that hopefully Field Ethos will publish. But, it's like super emotional, him telling the story of his dad getting him into hunting. His rifle dies unexpectedly. And, like he had a dream to shoot like 7 things with this gun. He had shot like 3 or 4 by the time he died. But the kudu in Africa was like the grand finale of his plan. And so Danny got to do that. So that was super cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
Yeah. And
because they were filming out there, right, for a documentary or something?
Yeah. So Field Ethos was filming for several things out there. And we got a lot of great footage. And then we just had a great time. I mean, I tell you, our PH was great. And, like one time I showed you guys the video, but I won't show the video just in case it bothers him. But he, sometimes you're hunting all day because we get up at, daylight. We'd get out there and we sometimes would come in for lunch if we were close enough. Sometimes we wouldn't come back till after dark. So the PH one day has, gets the bubble guts,
Mm-hmm.
has to go take a poop after we shoot something. Gets out there, and we send the drone up. So great. And remarkably enough, he takes his pants off to poo, which is okay. And we got great footage of him throwing rocks at the drone and his pants like 10 feet away from him for some reason.
Just in case.
Just in case. We just had the greatest time. Like our videographer, the African guy that was our videographer, guy, he was in the Rhodesian army back when, all the terrorist shit was going on and, when it became Zimbabwe, and just had all kinds of interesting experiences and was super into history and educated us a lot on it. Just an interesting guy to spend a couple weeks with. When he spent his life, well, in the police and military, so he's 61, so this is around 1980 or so when Rhodesia became Zimbabwe, I imagine, about that time period. And since then, he's been a professional hunter. And just the stories with animals and growing up there and, just a remarkable experience that we all had. And I learned lots of stuff, as always. And I think about the guns, too, and educated everyone else, because half the guys that went on the trip didn't have the fix, and they hunted with traditional guns. And one thing, I fall in love with this gun every time I go and use it. And had I not had the fix with a 16-inch barrel, like I shot several animals that no one else got to shoot because I had it loaded in my lap in the Land Cruiser when we're driving around to get somewhere and you turn a corner and there's something. For instance, if you go over there specifically to shoot a jackal, which is like similar to our coyote, but it's difficult hunting. And generally you have to do it at night with calls and lights and all that and shoot them, I think. It's not easy. I've seen probably 2 jackals ever in Africa during the day, and I shot one of them. I guess 3 because we saw 2 this trip. But I shot one in less than 1 second from the time we saw it because I had it the fix in my lap. It wasn't this gun. It was the 308 with the 1-8 Swarovski. I had the dot on. I had a round in the chamber. The stock folded in my lap, and we turn a corner, and it's going across the road, stops to look at us. And I pull the rifle up, deploy the stock, lean out the window, and shoot it 100 meters with the dot. And so now I've got a jackal. It's kind of a prize trophy, especially during the day. Like if you go there to hunt one, it's going to take you several days probably. And I was able to do that. And that happened a few times with things. And some people don't like that kind of hunting, and that's okay. Like you don't ever have to shoot from a truck there. But something like that, I shoot from the truck all day long. And, everybody else, they have their traditional hunting rifles, their Winchester with a 24-inch barrel and their fixed stock, and they're, in a rack in the truck, and you just can't deploy the gun and shoot it. Yeah. This gun was just so practical. Like, carrying it, I got to carry it like an AR. I didn't have to carry like a traditional hunting style with it over my shoulder where you have to get the gun. I was able to pull the gun up and shoot it quickly. So. Did
you take it with the Lancer mag or?
No, I didn't use the Lancer mags. So I took this gun, which is in 6.5 right now, and Leupold sent me this 3.6 to 18 Mark V, and I had the little offset red dot, which I could have shot stuff with, and I said I was going to. I totally lied. When we got there, I didn't take the time to get a real good zero with it, and I just never did. So basically, if I thought I was going to shoot over 300 meters, I took this rifle, and I had both of them with me in the truck all the time. And if it was inside 300 or it was a really big animal, I generally used the 308. So in this, I had the extended bolt handle, which I like actually, and using it now. I used Hornady 143 ELDXs in this. They perform very well, even out of the 16-inch barrel. And I think my farthest shot though with this was I did not get the record this time.
Next time.
Well, my man Mike, who does longer, he had a 300 Win Mag with a 24-inch barrel, I think, and
that'll do it.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, and he spends a lot of time at the range. I did not. Another lesson I learned, like I only spent a day or so like shooting to prepare for this one. It was a mistake. I should have really committed. I mean, we had things come up, and I just procrastinated. I should have spent a week or two really shooting a lot. And I didn't. And it cost me. I wasn't able to shoot as far. I wasn't as comfortable, and I didn't. But Mike shot a zebra at 750 meters or something. It's a pretty great shot. Now, we were up on top of the mountain, and we saw them coming along and stopped the truck, and we watched them shoot the zebra, and the zebra ran out of their sight, but we watched it die.
Oh, yeah.
And we were able to radio them and let them know that it went tits up. So anyway, I like this Mark V better than I thought I would. Yeah. It's great. It's compact. It's lightweight. Ton of magnification. I did use full magnification on it several times. I'm not even sure if I shot at 18 power, but I shot from 12 to 15 power several times. So it was good. But I think if I had one gun in Africa, I don't know that I would want, depending on the hunting I'm going to do, because I shot some stuff. I shot one animal probably 15 meters, and I would have wanted like 3.6. You might as well be looking through a frickin', I don't know, like a telescope at the fucking moon or something. Like I never would have found it. Now I guess that's why I should have had the red dot. But right. So with some of the hunting there, I like a 1 to 8, 1 to 6, and I was able to shoot with the 8 power, over 300 meters with it. So I take a couple rifles, and for me, it's the right thing to do. Short barrel is really handy with a lot of the hunting there.
And when you say short, you mean to 16-inch?
16-inch, yeah. I mean, because that's not traditional hunting lengths.
By no means.
Yeah, and
so you took a couple rifles, but no silencers.
No, I generally do.
Yeah,
but
that sounds terrible.
Yeah, but our ATF council now said that we've got to go through the export process, and so we're going to do that for the next hunt. Yeah, it was hunting without a silence, shooting without a silencer is such bullshit. I don't know why anybody likes guns without a silencer. It's stupid. I don't like guns without silencers.
Yeah,
probably the first time I've shot something didn't have a silencer on it in 10 years. It was horrible. The first time I forgot my ear protection, because you think that's stupid, but like when you get in the excitement and the adrenaline flowing of hunting, and you identify an animal and you have to make a stalk. I mean, you never know. Some of the shooting positions that I shot were ridiculous. I took shots that I probably shouldn't have. Had I trained more, I would have been okay with it. But just some of the positions you shoot from. So if you go and sit on your bench and that's all you do to train up to go on a really serious hunt or to go to Africa, it's stupid. Just training prone is dumb. Like, most of my shots were not prone or from some bench or even supported in the rear. It's shooting sticks, or I'm on the side of the mountain in some rock formation and you got to shoot through some bushes, and you're sitting down. I got scoped hard one time because I wasn't in a position to really be able to support the rifle well, so maybe you shouldn't take that shot. I was successful with it, so I'm glad I did it, but got my eye busted and everything. But sitting, leaned back, my feet are in front of me, my rifle was propped up on one of my shoes or my boots on a rock. I mean, it was ridiculous, and it was a 300-meter shot.
And you didn't have a bipod on either of your guns at any point either, did you?
Yeah, I used a bipod on this one a few times. Yeah. But man, it goes to show you with the Atlas our bipod, if it does not get completed by the time I go back, I'm going to flip a fucking table. Because the Atlas bipod, it weighs a pound, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but this gun is so lightweight and so easy to carry. So the first couple of days I had this gun slung, was carrying it, never noticed it. Put the bipod on, I hated it. The bipod sticks out a lot. It's like hitting me on the leg or it's snagging on stuff because it sticks out from the gun. The extra weight on the muzzle sucked.
And the Atlas is pretty rattly.
Yeah. It's so rattly.
Yeah.
Yeah, in reality, I like the Harris better. It's just so ugly on the gun. I just can't bring myself to do it. That's the part of me that's vain, I guess.
That's what I got on mine.
Yeah, I got a Harris.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, it's better.
I don't hump mine around, though. You're
Well, the Harris and the Atlas, they're about the same weight, actually. People don't realize it, but
really?
they are.
Yeah, the Harris looks heavy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the Harris is lighter than it looks. The Atlas is heavier than it looks, I think.
then the Harris, you don't need to put a mount or a pick rail on the fix. You just put a little 1032 sling stud.
Yeah.
Well, with the Atlas, we have the direct mount.
Yeah, but you still have to use that mount. Yeah.
There's another plate to add on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess the Harris has a mount on it. It just goes to a sling swivel.
Did you grab onto any of the, like, I know you said one of the guys had a 300 Win Mag or anything, like, did you show them all the difference? Like, that gun only weighs 6-7 pounds with everything on it?
No one there, including the PHs, that aren't buying one of these guns now.
Yeah.
I mean, the Griffin and Howell guns are basically a Mauser-based action. I think they originally started modifying 03 Springfields. They did Hemingway's guns, Cary Grant, like all these old like hunters that were celebrities and stuff too. It was the rich guy gun. And they're nice, but I mean, this gun, the folding stock alone for this and the weight, there's nothing else that competes with it.
Yeah, being able to have it in your lap in the seat of a car.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
And slinging it, like you said, like an AR where you're walking around, something jumps up, you're there.
And it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, and having the sling on it, because there's a couple times, I made some less than optimum shots. I should have trained more, and that's something that I'm going to take, that I bring back as an experience and I'm going to take with me on the next hunt. I mean, I will be better prepared, and I still did well. I never lost an animal or anything. We recovered everything, but I could have made a couple better shots. And a couple times I just didn't have good shots, but it was an animal where, we've been hunting a week and we hadn't seen one. And I felt okay with the shot. And I generally am overconfident anyway, but it's fine. I shot through some bushes and stuff. And that's another consideration. Like in that kind of hunting, the 308 was nice because I was shooting with Hornady. Shout out to them. They hooked me up with ammo. But with their GMX ammo in 308, and that's their solid copper, and I'm way more confident with that shooting into some brush or something. Mm-hmm. And, there was a couple times I knew I was going to have to make follow-up shots because it's a big animal. It's not the best opportunity, but it's what the fuck I had. And I sent it, and this gun is so fast cycling, and guys watching me do that because a couple times everybody was with me. Like I shot 3 kudu, and the first one, all 6 guys were with me when I shot it. And it was through some bushes, and it was a certain bull I was after. And it was, there were 2 trees, and then there was the one tree, there was a fork in it. And through that is where I had to shoot. And it was about 300 meters, and I could see from right behind his shoulder to about right here on his neck through a bush. And so we watched him. And at first I wouldn't shoot because I thought that's the part of the animal it was, but I wasn't positive. And I waited till he turned his head and I saw and I confirmed it. And I took a shot and I took a follow-up shot instantly. Like I knew I was going to have to hit him both times. And then he dropped, but he got up and I didn't have a shot. And we actually drove up and got out again, and it was about 100-yard shot through bushes again. I shot him again. He dropped again and got up, and I sprinted. So at this point, like you don't want it to start going down the mountain in the bushes. It's like an all-day thing. And I sprinted. So I had the gun slung when I shot. That time it was offhand, and I was able to tighten the sling, and I ran. And when I got up to where he was, I had a clear shot and shot him again and dropped him. And, it's things like that with the traditional gun. Like I don't think you could have done or not done as easily.
Yeah. That's something that people don't, they see it in videos, especially if they haven't touched it. They see it's a 45-degree throw or whatever, and it's on rail, so it's smooth.
It's fast.
It is fast, and it does break in a little bit, too. Like, it's already smooth, but after time, you feel it. It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. In this gun, I've got thousands of rounds through. I'm comfortable with it. And, the gun just wins everyone over. Everyone, because the PHs as well. A lot of guys in South Africa, just like New Zealand, are really into guns. Like most men hunt there, they're into guns, but it's a lot of traditional stuff they have. They had never seen anything like this, and we're blown away. And seeing like when stuff like that happens, that shows them an advantage that you can get from, the tools that you're using, and. Yeah, I loved it, but hunting without a silencer, but thank God we make that whistle tip, send the sound forward, because I probably shot 3 or 4 animals and didn't have ear protection on. Yeah. Either I just forgot them in the truck or I forgot to lower them and put them on. That's why I like having it on the muzzle of the gun. Mm-hmm. So going back in November and doing all the exporting stuff to send them over there for me now, so I'll have them.
Other than the bipod, what would you change on the gun after using it in those conditions, positions, whatever you want to call it? Is there anything you do different?
No, I shot off the Really Right Stuff tripod a couple times, so having this rail mount here is very nice. Being able to put the bipod on and remove it easily was cool.
Do you think you would keep the red dot if you got spun up on it beforehand? Do you think you would keep it, or do you think you'd just go with a little bit lower power?
if I were only taking this gun, I would keep the red dot because I don't like only for that type of hunting when you don't know. You know, I mean, some guys go over there and they only want to shoot at distance, or they only want to shoot in the open, or they're not willing to take shots that I do. And this scope is probably fine, but if I had one gun and I'm going over there, I would not have a minimum power of 3.6. With that being said, Mike Murphy, his minimum power was 5. He had a Swarovski 5 to 25, but I don't think he took a shot less than 300 meters.
Right.
And he just took shots that were out in the open and broadside animals. And I mean, he's real responsible, and I mean, I think that's fine for him. But if I have something that doesn't go down to a minimum of 2 power, I would have this dot. If I had one gun, and I would train up, and I would be confident taking shots at 50, 75 meters with that.
Yeah. But you also said too, like, you liked having the 2 guns. Like, is that like a staple for you now? Knowing what you know when you go back, like, do you think you'll do multiple guns?
I think so. I mean, for me, it's a little different because of the company. Like, next time I go back, I'm going to take 2 guns, but one of them's going to be the 8.6 in November, and I'm going to shoot some big animals. Like, I'm going to shoot a Cape Buffalo. I want to shoot a roan, a sable, like some of the bigger animals, and I want to do it with 8.6. Yeah. So, I'll do that, and then I want something where I'm comfortable. So I'll train up with this, and I'll either use 16 or maybe 18 or 20 inches, and I want to shoot some stuff at 800 meters. So I always see taking 2 guns for me, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe not everybody has that luxury.
Right. Would you take a mini fix there?
Yeah, I would actually. Definitely like 6.5 Grendel, or I mean, even 300 Blackout. I mean, if I'm shooting Impala, bushbuck, several of the animals that I shot inside of a couple hundred meters that are closer to like mule deer, whitetail size, I would definitely take a mini fix. Yeah. I mean, maybe that's something we need to take in November. We should and try it out. Warthog. I mean, Warthog's actually really tough, but you can get shots on those that are 100 meters. And I think that Barnes 110 is a great bullet. And I mean, and with the Barnes, 223 rounds, I've killed some pretty good stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would do it.
And just like you said with the fix too, that mini fix cycles so fast. Such a short action.
So fast.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, my hope is that we have a prototype mega fix in 300 Win Mag when we go back in November, and I'm at 16 inch for that too, and I'm going to shoot something like 800 meters with it. I mean, 300 Win Mag that's a great killing cartridge. I like it, and be able to put 6.5 PRC in that, which is also a great cartridge, and some more opportunity, but also something I can keep in my lap, and it's compact and lightweight.
Yeah. It is going to wake you up when you let that one go. 7-pound gun or something.
Silencer on the recoil.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually used the big butt on my 308 because I have the extended bolt handle on this one. I put the big butt on the 308. I wanted to try some of the different stuff that we did. I don't know that it mattered for hunting, but it didn't bother me.
Right.
But I didn't notice either way. Mm. But I think with the 300 Win Mag, I'm probably going to want that
it's a
big butt. Yeah. But the smaller cartridges for hunting, shooting a couple shots, I don't ever notice it. And like I said, a lot of times, I got popped with the scope once because, the rifle wasn't properly supported. And, I mean, there's some people that have a problem with that. But I felt confident with the shot that I made, and I took one shot. And, that was basically, I shot up into a mountain, and I was on a road, and we weren't hunting them, but it's one of the pretty technical animals, a folly deer, and it has wool on it, so it's kind of related to goat. It looks really weird, like Chris Tucker pop out eyeballs, little skinny necks, this weird little antelope deer looking thing that's, I think, closely related to a goat, but we just happened to stumble upon one, and it was going up a mountain, and so I had to shoot from the road with on the side of a mountain. I hung my whole body off, and because I had a bag under the bipod, all this stuff to try to get a shot, and I felt fine with the shot, but I was not properly supported and got popped in the eye. That's part of the experience.
Yeah,
man. It's a great time. But man, I encourage everyone to go, and this was not an expensive trip. This trip, for the basic package, that was, I think, I don't remember how many animals, but maybe 5 or 7 animals, was $5,000 or $6,000, plus your airfare. Like this is,
Wow.
you can go to Africa cheaper than you can, and have a great experience for a week and a half and kill a bunch of animals, and see one of the most beautiful places in the world for cheaper than you can go on an elk hunt or a caribou hunt here in the States.
That's insane.
Yeah. So
I never would have guessed. I figured it would have been like $5,000 and then 7, 8, 10 grand each animal or whatever.
well, I mean, I think if you go to some of the fancier places that I talked about earlier,
Right.
it can be that way. For instance, if you shoot an Eastern Cape kudu at Crusader, it's $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. And some of the fancier places that are a high fence, it might cost you $5,000 or $6,000. But you're guaranteed if you go to those places.
Right.
Yeah.
But these places are free range. But I will say that every single person on a trip shot a kudu.
Yeah.
I mean, there is not a lack of animals. I mean, you will go out and you're going to see 500 animals every time you spend 5 hours riding around.
Crazy.
Yeah. Or you ride up top of a mountain and glass for an hour looking at another mountainside and trying to identify animals you want to shoot and see if you can make a stalk on them. It's a lot of fun. And, you can go there and the hunt can be very easy, or you can make it as hard as you want. Like we had some days, wasn't that difficult. And we had some where Jason and I both almost thought like we were going to die, like hiking up a mountain. It was terrible. But it's great. Like you love it afterwards, and it's so rewarding when you do that and you're successful. And and Jason and RPH Radcliffe Robertson,
Nice.
Radcliffe Robertson, yeah. Almost stepped on a puff adder, which is like, I don't know, probably like a diamondback rattlesnake would be the equivalent here, and it's got like bright yellow on it. Hopefully, we'll show a picture. And Jason killed one last time. It's got I think a sling and a belt or something from it last time. The one he
Wow.
killed. Fortunately didn't see a mamba this time, and did not see a python. So I was pretty stoked on all that. I'm not super into these big snakes and
Yeah.
shit.
Other than snakes, are there any other dangerous game on the property?
Well, I mean, if you encounter like a buffalo, it'll kill you. But
I mean, like
No.
classic dangerous game.
I think growing up being like an ignorant American, think about Africa, you're like, but like this, they have like big spiders that are creepy as hell, but they don't have, I think we have more dangerous spiders than they have. And, the puff adder, I don't think is exceptionally aggressive or anything. And that's probably what most people get bit by, but that might be closer related to like a copperhead or something we have here, where it might kill you if you're a little kid, but an adult's not going to probably kill you, but you're going to get real sick. But then they have like mambas, which you get bit by that, you're probably proper fucked.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think otherwise where we were. I mean, they have like leopards, but in South Africa, there's not a ton of them. So your chances of, like, I think on that property, only one guy's ever seen one. Like they have it, but like
Right.
you couldn't hunt them there probably. And one of the PHs has seen one once. So I don't know what else they would have. Like there aren't hyenas or wild dogs like exactly where we were.
Did you ever see that picture on?
Oh,
I think it-
jackal.
Yeah,
that's-
it's like a cross between a fox and coyote. I'd kick
Yeah.
the shit out of that
Oh,
thing.
sure.
Like, whatever.
Did you ever see that? I think it was on Nature's Metal or whatever. But it was a resort. It was like it looked like an information center, and there was a kudu and a dead kudu, and these lions had torn it all, and there was blood everywhere. It was the craziest scene ever.
That is the best Instagram page.
Yeah, that's
Nature
wild.
is Metal.
Yeah.
No, there aren't lions have been like extinct in this area for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Or I think this is the story. Andrew Pringle, who the property we're staying on. So his great great grandfather, who I think owned when it was millions of acres, is known to have killed the last lion that was, native to that area.
I
Is that
don't
the
know.
chip guy? Pringles chips?
Yeah.
I don't know that they are, but I don't know that they're not.
Be worth
But-
looking up.
I don't know if
maybe.
I want that title. I killed
Well-
the last lion.
Well,
in the area.
I think for them it wasn't like such a sensitive
No,
thing. I mean,
yeah.
I think a couple hundred years ago, and they were.
it's probably celebrated.
I'd own it. I'd be the self-proclaimed Lion King.
Yeah, the lion.
I bet, and I could be making this up, but I don't think. I think it's the story they told. But like back then, to survive and to feed like all the local villages and natives, like they were, it was a giant sheep farm.
Yeah.
And so that's so it's just a predator, and they didn't want them there because I don't know what a full-grown lion would eat per week, but it's probably a whole bunch of lambs
sheep.
and sheep.
Just a
couple. Yeah.
a couple sheep.
So
It seems like the only people who get upset about all the animals that get killed in Africa are people that live here and have never
People that grew up watching The Lion King.
Right, exactly.
We were actually attacked. Like the night before we left, we went and stayed in a city. Like I only went in one store the whole time I was there, a convenience store. We were isolated, like this place is out in the country. But we went to Port Elizabeth on the Eastern Cape to fly out. And so the night before we flew, we went there and we stayed in a hotel and we went to a restaurant. And a woman identified us as American hunters, and she kind of attacked us.
Yikes.
And it was so ridiculous. I mean, everybody else that we met, so grateful we were there. You know, and you think, like, the Pringle family, they have, I'll say 100 native people that work for them there. And, you know, they would be homeless if it weren't for
Right.
their ranch. And, you know, they were so excited we were there hunting because, you know, they've been starving for
Right.
I mean, they do okay, but no, the country was shut down for a year. And so, you know, that means they continue to have employment. And, you know, and that's what really the conservation is, because they're all encouraged to maintain the game there.
Right.
And so, you know, not poach and exterminate every animal, to cull the proper animals, to allow hunting. You know, there's a big problem in a lot of parks like Kruger and stuff in Africa right now, because there was no hunting for over a year. And elephants, for instance, which everybody loves elephants, you have to kill elephants. They are so destructive. They're prolific, you know, at procreating, and they're just so destructive. Like they knock down huts. So in villages, they just destroy that stuff. They can knock down trees, all the habitats for other animals.
Right.
You know, just all of that habitat. They're so destructive, and they went for over a year unchecked.
Yeah.
And so that's you know, at 5% a year, 5% more.
It's the same with giraffes too. Like you have to kill the old ones because they kill the young.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, why would you shoot a giraffe?"
Yeah.
I'm saving other giraffes.
And zebra, like they'll just about let you shoot a zebra for free because they're also like,
They dig everything up.
well, they're very successful in breeding, and they overgraze. So they eat everything, which, you know, they eat a lot of the same stuff that a lot of the other animals eat that don't overgraze, like kudu and, you know, other things that are very popular. So that, you know, there's several of the animals where the population needs to be monitored, you know, more closely than others, you know, and people hate it because everybody loves giraffes and elephants. Right. But it's like, you got to kill giraffes, you got to kill elephants, and you got to kill zebras.
If you want to have giraffes and elephants and zebras, you got to kill them.
Or that's all you're going to have.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so there is a real balance to that. But yeah, we were eating the night before we left, and this woman was drunk in this other party, a South African woman, and she leaves, you know, and she's living in this city, and the way she looked and everything, and it's in kind of a wealthy area we were in, and she brought her judgmental ass over there, and she's like, "Oh, you guys are Americans?" Yeah. Hunting, huh? Yeah. Well, you know, you're the kind of people we don't want here, hunting leopard and cheetah. You know, and it's like, you don't even have cheetahs here, you dumbass. But it's like, yeah, we're not doing that. And it's like, you know, okay, so you don't want hunting, and that's how like half this country survives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, glad you're on the hunting committee. Please take your drunk ass home. Like,
We'll just go home and support our own economy then.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you all starved to death over
Yeah.
here. But that was the only like negative shit we encountered.
Yeah.
But yeah, people that they're just ignorant to it. Like these animals get shot, like in Kruger, you know, in the national park over there. Tons of animals get shot every year, and it's like you can either pay your taxes to have like a park ranger shoot them, or you can open it up for hunting, and the people and nation can profit from it.
Yeah, people get fed, the habitat gets managed, the populations get
Look at
managed.
that bald eagle with it just flew out the window.
No, I
shit.
couldn't.
Oh, I thought you
see
were
it over
telling.
there?
I thought you were telling the story.
Yeah, I'm like, they have bald eagles
No,
over there?
it had a fucking rat or a squirrel or something.
There was a rabbit in your front yard earlier.
Well,
It probably has.
no,
Probably not
it
anymore.
had a tail on it. Did you see it?
I saw the shadow.
Yeah, it was in the front yard right here. Just flew over.
I thought it was part of the
I see it
story.
flying away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it still got the thing.
Oh, I don't
I
know.
can't tell.
It's far away.
I thought you were
It
probably.
was right here in the
I
yard.
thought you were telling a story, and then
Yeah,
I looked, and I'm like, oh, he got me.
Yeah.
And then I'm
No.
like, oh, he is really telling a
No,
story.
it had. Oh, I hope it was a rat. I don't know. We don't really have rats, but I didn't. Oh
It's
man, that
probably
was
a squirrel or something.
I was
Yeah,
shocked.
like a
All the
groundhog
things I saw
thing.
the last couple weeks.
That was the
fucking most shocked by a bald eagle in my yard with an animal.
You don't see a lot of bald eagles here.
It was a good sized animal, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was probably the rabbit that was hopping around your yard.
Don't tell Ivana that. It looked like it had a tail though. I saw like a long tail.
It was a cat.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love if it's a cat. Oh, sorry, Cat Pete. Well, fuck you guys. I don't like cats.
Yeah.
No, you like the cats, Thomas?
I don't like cats.
Okay, me and you.
I don't really like any kind of pet.
Oh, bald eagle just got something fat to eat.
That's cool.
God, right in the front yard.
I thought you were telling a story.
As you're welcome.
God, I love
as you're
America.
welcoming
I
committee.
know.
I was like, I don't know how this plays into the story, but
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, oh, there's bald eagles over there. That's crazy.
No, but they do have some eagles. We saw them.
yeah.
Well, let me put my glasses on. Look at some stuff here. But I mean, I think that's some of the stuff. You know, one bitch of the trip was, so in June they open up direct flights. So by the time this is published, there's direct flights South Africa again. Well, there hasn't been. So I had to fly from like Boston to Atlanta to Amsterdam to Johannesburg to Durban.
Nice quick trip.
That sounds terrible.
I mean, some guys suffered way more than I did flying over. But on the way back, we flew from Port Elizabeth to Johannesburg to Paris to Atlanta to Boston. It's 40 hours. It is a long couple days.
Yeah.
Fortunately, on one of those legs, I was able to get business class and got one of the little pods where I laid down. I slept 8
yeah.
hours. I felt great.
That's awesome.
So that's a bitch. And you know, they're not making it easier to travel with guns, like no lie.
Yeah.
And you know, not that it's super difficult. And when you go over there, like with your outfitter, they'll get an agent for you to meet you at the airport and deal with all the stuff. But when we got to South Africa, it took 3 hours to deal with the gun stuff. And it's just because, and it just opened up, and we met 100 Americans that were there to hunt all over the country at the airport. And, you know, every time it's like the first day on the job, the first hunter they've ever had with a gun. It's like every American that comes to this airport has a gun. Like, how is this a difficult thing now? But, man, I mean, America with TSA, we suck. But Africa is far less efficient than even our TSA, and that pains me to say, but it's true.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Nobody knows shit, and it was horrible. And then, but saying that, when we got back to America in Atlanta, 2.5 hours to go through it. You know, and so when we got to Atlanta, we had to go through customs, immigration, and then you go through, if you're connecting, then you go through TSA, and they have to walk you there, and they do the exact same thing because you know, of course, you know, our government being so stupid, these two groups don't communicate, so they duplicate what this group just did, and so that was 2.5 hours. I had a 6-hour layover and had about an hour and 15 minutes to get something to eat and hang out before I got on the plane. I mean, it was just stupid. So traveling with a gun sucks. So I'm going to export some guns and just have them over there for when I go hunt, I think, where I don't have to travel with guns in the future, because I'm going to go back.
Yeah, let the PHs run around with them.
Yeah. And get the exposure for the gun, and I can use it when I get over there.
Send some silencers, too.
Definitely, now that we can send silencers for foreign sale.
Yeah.
You know, it's so crazy. So if I send rifles over there, if I sell or give our PH and, you know, Rad and Andrew, who owns a place, each one of our guns, or the company does, then we export them, we get them over there. It takes them 10 months to go through the process to get a bolt action rifle. The silencers, though, they pick up that day as an accessory.
That's
Exactly
so
backwards of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes way more sense, I guess. But
I guess so.
I mean, the silencer part, they just think it's so ridiculous that it takes us 10 months to get a silencer here.
Mm-hmm.
But worth it. We're going to do all that. So when we all go over, we don't have to hunt without a silencer, because that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
But I left my Peltors over there too, just in case.
Did you say we all on the podcast?
Well, probably not you.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Because
I'm not allowed over there, I don't think.
crash the drone.
Well, there's planes involved, and
Yeah, exactly. I'm bad luck.
If you can fly us, you can go.
All right. I don't know if
Jay's flying. I'm not going.
So it's probably getting boring for you non-hunting African want-to-going.
African
people.
haters.
Hippies.
So covered this.
Well, while
Oh.
you're scratching stuff
Mhm.
off, we
Mhm.
have a giveaway in the works with some people.
Yeah,
You
we're
want to talk about that?
we're participating in a giveaway with Warm and Fuzzy and Forward Observations groups or single group. Shooting Surplus is also part of it. Doghead Collective, Auto Sear. So they're all going to be a part of this basically.
EOTech.
Yep, EOTech is part of it as well. They're
Yep.
donating optics. So it's a raffle. It's $50. I believe it's a $50 raffle ticket, unlimited tickets. All of the money is going to go to FPC. The winner of the raffle.
Firearms Policy Coalition.
Yep.
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 Fighting
So
for these
hot right
gun
now.
rights, huh?
Exactly. Yeah. So all the money's going to go to them. The winner of the raffle, them plus one are going to get flown down to Texas. They're going to go on a hunt with all the people mentioned, Warm and Fuzzy, Forward Observations Group, all these guys. They're going to get a fix from us that Warm and Fuzzy came up and built. It's a 6.5 fix with an EOTech Voodoo scope on it, a can. Shooting Surplus is donating a honey badger, so they're going to get a honey badger
Jeez.
with optics and a can. They're going to get a free hunt, free mount, all the meat, everything, and just hang out with everyone. So
So where do people go?
it's going to be on Warm and Fuzzy's website. I believe Forward Observations website as well.
Nice.
So it should be going on as this podcast airs. It should still be going on, so you can get a
So
hold
is
of
it $50?
it. $50 a ticket and unlimited tickets.
I'm buying some.
Yeah. So when they go to Texas for this hunt, all those companies that you mentioned, there'll be representatives from each company there.
Yep.
Also
Yeah.
hanging out.
Hunt. What is this going to be like? An aerial pig hunt? What's this going to be?
As it stands right now, we're just waiting here to. I say we. Warm and Fuzzy is waiting to hear back from which specific ranch it's going to be, but I think it's going to be an exotics ranch. So they can basically the ranch is going to
Oh.
donate an animal, and this person can decide which one they want to get. So
Oh,
yeah, it'll be cool. And
pretty cool.
I think some guys from Q are going to be there. I don't know. Is someone from EOTech going to go down? You know?
I threw it out there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, and then so there'll be all the companies like you said involved. There'll be some guys there.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good prizes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think,
Sounds like $20,000 is what I'm hearing.
yeah, speaking of FPC and giveaways and all that stuff, I think in June, FPC is also doing a mini fix giveaway like they did for the honey badger.
Nice.
So raising
Yeah, what do
more.
we raise with that?
For the honey badger was over, I think it was like 130 something thousand
Yeah, it
dollars.
was a ton
Yeah.
of money.
Oh,
I
man.
never got the final number, but during the podcast, Pierce shouted it out. It was like over 100.
What do we do to support 2A? Here you go. Just raising millions of dollars.
Giving shit away like Oprah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, FPC is doing a mini fix this time. So same deal. Go to FPC's website. You can donate money up to, I think there's increments, $5 up to $100. You can also just enter. No purchase necessary. It's a
Yeah.
giveaway, not a raffle. So a lot of good fundraising,
Yeah, absolutely.
community giveaway, whatever you want to call it.
That is great.
Yeah.
It's great to see stuff like this happening.
It's cool to see because we've talked about it a little bit before on previous episodes about just kind of the overall attitude of the industry and kind of just how it's changed over the years.
Well, it's a
and
new niche of the industry. I mean, the idea of these guys doing stuff to just help actual 2A and, fight the good fight, not just for, putting their name on a NASCAR or something. That's cool. It's good to see that attitude, people being charitable.
yeah, people definitely are starting to, I think, value the idea of community within the industry a lot more. And you're seeing it from newer companies, which
Interesting
is
at
really
my age that it's a younger generation doing it.
cool. Yeah,
Because
Well-
most of the millennials, what a bunch of tool bags.
I know.
But this
We're
is
the worst.
This is incredible.
Well, these guys, Warm and Fuzzy, Fog, Bruce from Shooting Surplus, a lot of the community stuff kind of comes from the veteran groups
Yeah.
in the industry.
Yeah,
They're pretty big
absolutely.
on the community aspect of it.
That's cool.
It's very
Yeah.
cool to
That's
see.
cool.
And it's
I
cool
like it.
because even companies like Warm and Fuzzy, they're not a gun company. They've done a collaboration with Noveski before, but the guy that owns it, he'll be the first to tell you, he's like, I don't know much about the industry. I'm real new at this, but he wants to be involved and he wants to do it the right way. So it's cool to see people.
Yeah, have a fresh outlook that's not skewed by the industry bullshit.
Yeah.
Same thing with FPC. Like instead of the NRA, Like people not wanting to be politicians, people wanting to protect our constitutional rights. Like, bless those guys. Holy shit.
And they take action too. It's not just talk.
Yeah, willing to stand up and punch somebody in the dick. I like it. Like, I mean, we got
they're aggressive.
Jay, what do you think of so we asked for podcast room stuff to decorate with, and we've received some things. This mask, this creepy ass mask.
That is Rangda or Rongda. It is a demon goddess from Bali, and
that's a chick.
Yeah, she
even scarier.
Eats children. So that's cursed for sure, and it now lives in your home.
That's why we just heard all that noise and all your cabinets were open.
Yeah. I mean, it's really cool that I will have to find the gentleman's name that sent it. We have the letter. I don't have it here.
Yeah, wasn't it something like his grandfather got it or something?
Yeah, his grandfather was like a traveling salesman or something.
Let's find out before this goes live and put his name.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might not want his name attached to it. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, it's from Bali.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I don't want to touch it, but it's cool.
That's real hair.
It's someone's hair.
Yeah, real human hair. That's pretty gross. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, all the art and stuff, podcast at livekeywordie.com if you want to send us
I did feel
art.
like there was somebody behind me this whole time.
There certainly is.
I know why.
Yeah.
I forgot it was there.
You sound like my buddy Chad thinking he's got some redheaded female ghost in the shop in my apartment, he believes.
Oh.
At his place. Bon and I have a place there in an outbuilding, an apartment there, and it's haunted. According to him,
I'm pretty sure the shop's haunted as well. But
you guys are idiots. So what else is up? What kind of camo you got there, man?
It's like a variation of what we call splinter tarn.
So it's not a real one. This is like camouflage. This isn't a real camouflage.
Sort of. It's the right pattern. The color, like this brown is a little off, or this brown, I'm sorry, is a little off.
That's called camouflage. Like when you see woodland, but it's like pink and black and white.
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't know you'd get into glamourflage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's cool. It's just it's like an off-brand, whatever. It's a little rain thing. So
I like it.
It's cool. It's not super
it's
popular.
Not a whoopee.
No, this is not a whoopee now. So, but the pattern's not super popular right now. It probably will be more now that Garantham just put out a video. I think he's got a rifle that's all splinter tarn or whatever.
So you're trying to get ahead of the curve.
Exactly, jump ahead.
It's very Call of Duty.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is.
It's the history of it's not the most colorful and greatest, but whatever, it looks cool.
Oh, neither is most camouflage.
You're right. Yeah, yeah. The origins of it aren't the greatest, but yeah, it's cool.
What about what's new with you? You got a 416, huh?
Not for long.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna sell it. By the time this comes out, I'll probably have sold it for $10,000.
What, just for the money?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about it?
I think it's heavy. I think. I don't know. My time at SIG, I don't see a lot of differences between it and the 516.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So I think I'm over it.
It's cool for cool factor for sure.
It's super cool if you're a collector, if you're into cloning and you're into real use guns, Bin Laden gun, whatever you want to call it. It's worth something to somebody.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It has been a Laden gun.
Yeah, it's not for me. It was an investment.
A good one at that.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
It is cool though. I did not realize it was as heavy as it was. But it makes sense.
Yeah.
Piston gun.
They're heavy.
Yeah.
It's the 10.4 inch 416 will be heavier than our 308 gas gun.
Yeah.
I love the handguard, the single bolt. It's super easy to just take it off.
It's like the Geisley, same thing. That's where they got it from. It's smart. It's very well retained. It's very rigid.
Do you know what that nut is? You guys probably do because you have the internet now. Why that nut's cut the way it is?
Are you talking about the actual head of the nut?
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Like just a regular Phillips head on it.
Well, no, it's bigger. I figured it was
bigger, but
I figured it was for a piece of kit. But I don't know why.
Maybe we'll find out.
Yes, learn me.
The bolt.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Bolt lug.
Interesting.
So you just use your. It kind of sucks that you'd have to take your bolt out to take your handguard off.
Most people do this. You do this.
I'm a fucking trailblazer, Adam. What can I say?
It is a cool gun though.
Yeah.
And I mean
it's smooth, like the action feels nice, the trigger's nice, everything
Germans
about it's
don't
very
do
nice.
A lot of shit, man.
The stock's nice and tight on there. It's not rattly. It's a well built gun.
Yeah,
for sure.
The stock is so ugly. The normal stock, but
it's comfy. I think it hold some batteries or something in it.
Yeah, it's
I
got the
think
big
so.
ass sling loops on the side of it. They're
Germans are big with that.
Yeah.
you know.
And
Yeah.
the button, the like lever to
Yeah, you're
move
not
it is
going to
recessed.
accidentally move it.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, all that was probably requirement driven.
Mm.
Yeah.
I do like the butt pad on it,
Yeah, it's thick.
Yeah.
but they like those clip-on slings.
Mm. Yeah, they sure do.
Does it have? I only messed with it that one day, but does it have more than whatever 5 positions on the stock or something? It just felt like there were a ton on there. Maybe not.
I don't know, 5 or 6.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Felt like there were a lot. I could be completely
It's on my
wrong.
desk. Look at it.
I don't know, but a very slick gun.
Yeah,
It's so slick, so smooth. And we've encountered this with the honey badgers. They've gotten better and
Yeah, as
better
they break
over the
in, yeah.
years. The gun is so fast, and the original requirement for the group here in the U.S. that they put the requirement for that gun, it didn't include a silencer being used with a silencer because that group, it was just before they started using silencers on everything. So when we went to build silencers for it,
Mm.
like any back pressure, that gun becomes unreliable.
Yeah.
Because it's so smooth it skips over rounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the mag spring can't lift the rounds as fast as that bolt cycles.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it was all painted up when I got it. I stripped it down and
It came out well.
cleaned it up as best I
Did
could.
really good.
Yeah, nice gun.
It was used for sure though.
Oh,
That
it's used,
handguard has
yeah.
seen some.
Yeah.
Yeah, God.
I got a Geisley rail coming forward. I'm going to put that on and then sell it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's worth more than the original HK
I'll include the
quad
original
rail?
with it, but,
Oh.
you know, just to maximize my sale potential.
You should put you put one of our silencers on it. What optic was on the Bin Laden gun?
Come on,
If I
Jay.
were to guess,
I mean, there's pictures of it. I just don't remember.
oh, I don't
EOTech
know.
or something.
I would
EOTech, I don't know.
assume it was an EOTech, probably with a G33 that was folded to the side or something. The magnifier. That would be my guess.
If you're a cloner, hit us up in the comments below.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Yeah.
But that gun was camoed. It was painted.
Oh, it was super
Yeah.
painted. New Hampshire State Police.
No, I'm
Fucking
saying the Bin
hardcore.
Laden.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're
Someone.
EOTech 3-time.
Yeah, I was right.
Oh.
Pow pow pow. EOTech with a G33. Pow pow. Actually, regarding painting,
Pow pow.
it's on our story right now. It was weeks ago. If you're watching this,
so
someone
there's no chance of them seeing it now.
right. Well, they'll probably see it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I remember that."
Let's go back to the archives and repost it on
Yeah.
this day in the future.
Yeah, exactly. But someone asked Breck from Doghead Collective, should painting a Q gun like a disgrace or a flex? And he
It's as intended.
pushed it to us, and I
Yeah.
said, "Go nuts!
Yeah.
Like, just make
Well,
sure it's
that's why-
cool."
That's why it was clear anodized
Right.
in the beginning, because they're just going to paint that shit anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, I think it's a tool.
Look
Like
at Kevin's gun. We're not going to say don't do shit.
Yeah. I think go
I
nuts.
mean, it's a tool. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is actually, it's more of a communal gun. Like, you guys gave me this and
Yeah.
did this. Jose painted these for me. Black Point Tactical gave me that, which I actually really like that. And the material. I mean, it's cool because it's leopard, whatever. But, yeah, it's goofy. But it gets a lot of attention.
It's
Yeah.
cool. It's yours. It is very much yours.
It's mine. It kills stuff.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, do you.
Yeah. I mean, if I had one,
Rattle can, Cerakote.
if I had to pay for it and had one, I'm not sure I'd do it. But, I mean, I think,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've painted guns. I always regret it.
Oh, you do?
After. Yeah, I don't
Me
do a
too.
good job.
Oh, don't do a good job.
I do an okay job. I just regret it.
Hmm.
You know what? I think we're talking to Field Ethos and what we want to do after being there, and everyone loving the fix, and then us spending time with Guy, the Rhodesian soldier. Want to do a 16-inch 308 in Rhodesian camo, so paint that, and optic sling, set it up for what we think is the perfect gun for hunting in Rhodesia or, South Africa and in most places.
Are you talking like the brushstroke or how they painted their like FALs back in the day?
Well, see, he kind of wanted to do that with that like goofy yellow and
Yeah.
all, but I think like the brushstroke stuff,
Yeah.
like
Could do both. Like the accents could be the brush stroke, like a sling. I don't know. No.
I don't know.
Look at your gun. Don't talk to me about contrast.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
This thing goes together brilliantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that could be fun. We should start doing like special fix like every other month. I think like we should do something special.
Have either of you ever seen a picture of someone's? Granted, I know most people are like, I spent so much money, I don't want to paint it. But have you seen any cool painted Q guns from customers? Because I have not.
On the Facebook Q owners group, every once in a while there's a painted gun, and they look like painted guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look different. I'm not used to seeing it, especially on the fix. Like
Right.
an all OD green fix
looks
looks very strange.
Wow, I never would have.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that one. I'll
Yeah.
have to look.
I've seen.
We're all about the accents and different colors, 50 shades of this.
And then it's just
so
one.
having just one consistent color is weird.
I've seen 2 honey badgers that were painted. People have sent me pictures of, and one was all like a multicam Cerakote. I mean, it looked cool, but it's like whatever. And then that Kiko's place or whatever, those dreadlock hippies in Key West,
yeah.
they did one. It looked pretty good, but like I don't know. It's just like if it doesn't need to be painted, I wouldn't paint it. But
Freedom Firearms is doing it out in Vegas. They're
Yep.
Cerakoting the receivers and the handguard, but they're maintaining that contrasted, darker
receivers,
handguard,
Right.
colored receivers. So they're doing a really good job.
Those
of
look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was there in November, I saw a few of them being sold. I was picking up guns that I shipped out, and people, I mean, they sold through them for sure.
I like this handguard being painted. Like it's so smooth and everything, but maybe we should just tumble more.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you're adding weight. You're potentially screwing stuff up, like the tolerances of pins or for holes, threads, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Whatever, it's yours. It's a tool. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Similar to the honey badger. Does not care.
It does not. Not at all. Got so funny now that we did that smaller charging handle, and I look at that gun. It's got the original one on it. Looks ridiculous. Well, what else is up? What's going to be new? What's coming out? The Rector 9s are starting to ship, huh?
Yeah, Rector 9s at the time of this hitting YouTube are shipping. The Honey Badger style AR stock should be shipping now, if not soon.
A lot of people are waiting on that.
We have at this time, I believe at this time, we have
You trying to say something, Tom?
yeah.
Nope.
New cherry bombs, a couple new cherry bombs.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about those, because I saw one. I had no idea what it was for.
So we have a left-hand thread for MPXs, so 9mm left-hand, because so many people want it for their MPX. So you finally get one. We have a 45 cal cherry bomb.
Why?
Good question.
LWRC.
Oh, that's right. They're a little
Their subgun.
UMP looking thing.
We made a small batch. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but because of the 45 cal size bore, we have lug or wrench flats on the front as well. So
Exposed on the front.
Right, yeah.
They're all on the front on all of them.
yeah,
but
yeah.
It doesn't
so
have the...
doesn't have the
Oh, it had to
doesn't-
grow, so you can't have the
Exactly.
little ring around
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Exactly.
It looks very funny.
It's weird. I don't know how I feel. I kind of like it, but
I think I saw one on engineering's desk. I was wondering what the hell was going on.
yeah. They do have
Yeah.
wrench flats on the back though too, which is
All the
cool.
new
I like.
ones,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it was...
I-
they're small wrench
I don't
flats.
like
they're
that.
emergency wrench flats.
Yeah,
And
they're
they're just for the accessory ones. The standard one is going to remain the same.
People are gonna
Yeah.
round the edges, not having the
Yeah.
right wrench, and it's not gonna shoulder properly. I don't like this.
Yeah, we'll see how it
Okay.
goes. But yeah, the 45
What do I
one
know?
for LWRC, they're going to use it with our Ghost M Plan B and
Yeah.
whatever silencer they're going to use it for. So there's an opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know about other new products.
Mm-hmm.
Trigger.
Well, the trigger,
yeah.
it's imminent. That's really the major new products that should be out by now or soon. The new website should be live right now.
New website.
Oh, it should.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Still livecuredie.com, but it's kind of revamped, kind of a fresh take on a firearms company website.
How you feel about it?
It's colorful.
It is very colorful.
It's like a shirt.
It's
Yeah.
cool though. I think it's
Very clean.
I
It's
think
very
it
professional
separates
looking.
us. Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely separates us, and it fits us.
and it's way more intuitive than our current
Yeah,
website.
I do not. I can't find shit on our site.
the search feature is very broken.
And also the when people are actually placing orders, like the FFL process is going to be easier now. I mean,
Yeah, a
you
lot
know
of
more about it, but-
integrations with ATF's resources online as far as confirming FFL numbers. So when dealers place orders, we don't have to chase them down to verify if their FFLs are current or not.
Right.
customers are going to be able to go through a list of all active FFLs, so they can actually choose an FFL, and then it's going to send us the information. So we don't have to cancel orders now when we can't reach a customer because we have no idea who to ship it to. So a lot of that integration is going to be nice, just from a customer service standpoint.
Yeah.
And a customer experience.
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
We should make that as easy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a new term in South Africa.
Uh-oh.
He said, our PH was talking about when he caught a poacher a few years ago, and, like, the guy was poaching. He's like, whoa, stop, gonna, call the police and everything. And the guy, attacked him, and they got in a scuffle. And our PH, pretty big guy. I don't know, he's probably 6'4", 250, larger than most people.
A grown man.
Yeah. And so he gets in a tussle, and he's like, I don't want to hit the guy or anything. So we're wrestling. And he's like, so we're wrestling. He's like, I was literally probably twice the dude's size. So he's like, my girlfriend's there. They were just driving around checking some shit. And he catches a poacher and gets out of the truck, yells at him to stop, and goes over to him and's like, hey, what's in the bag? And the guy had all whatever gun stuff. And he's like, all right, and the guy attacks him. They get in a tussle, and he, ends up running. He's like, calm the fuck down. We don't have to do this. Ends up pinning the guy down. He's like, it was summer somewhere in shorts, and I'm free flowing, which means commando here.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy jumps up, reaches up, and grabs his balls. But he's like, he had the crane grip. And that's the thing. It's he didn't have he's like, the crane grip. He's like, but I panicked and the hydraulics let out, So it's he ends up squatting down on the guy. And I'm like, what'd you do? And that sounds awful. And he's like, well, I read him his fortune. And I was like, that's not an American saying. What does that mean? He's like, well, he read my palm and woke up next week. Had you heard that before?
No.
I tell you your fortune.
It makes sense.
I'm going to slap the shit out of you and you'll wake up next week. But he's like, crane grip on his balls. I was like, that's the scariest thing ever.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's a good one, the fortune one.
Yeah. So I'll tell you your fortune.
My dad used to tell me he would hit me hard enough that when I woke up, my clothes would be out of style, which clearly has happened. So
that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I think, same thing,
Yeah.
basically.
Thanks, Dad.